we're talking about Microsoft Office for the Android devices. So now we're talking about, since we're talking about Microsoft Office, we're also talking about Microsoft Surface. Now, many of you may not know that Microsoft Surface is Microsoft's tablet, their version of, their version of tablets and so forth. And Microsoft RT was, in my opinion, a useless tablet by Microsoft because it was overpriced and under-functionalized. In other words, it just didn't have the function for the price that it had. I mean, at $400 is what it cost. It was $449, and then if you wanted the attached keyboard, that's an extra $100. So you're talking $549, and you couldn't use Windows applications with it. Even though it said Windows RT, you couldn't use Windows applications with it. It can only use applications that's written specifically for RT, and nobody was writing very many applications for RT. So for $550, $600 with tax, you're getting a tablet that you can surf the web with. That's basically it, and you can do that with any Android tablet for much less price than that. So the Surface RT just didn't have the functionality that people were looking for. But according to this report by CNET, Microsoft Surface revenue came in at $853 million. Now, that's might sound kind of surprising based on what I'm saying here with the Surface RT, seeing that Microsoft had to write off $900 million in unsold Surface RTs. Now, the regulatory filing shows the tech giant earned $853 million in revenue from its Surface tablets. However, this is less than the $900 million write-down it had to pay for the RTs that it didn't sell. So let's get into this story. Now, Microsoft revealed on Tuesday that it had earned $853 million in revenue for its Surface tablets since its debut, or their debut, last fall. The figures comes from the annual financial report that Microsoft filed with the Security and Exchange Commission. Now, while this number doesn't seem exceptionally low, it is less than the $900 million the company had to pay for the Surface RT inventory adjustments, and also less than the $898 million Microsoft paid for Windows 8 and Surface advertising. Now, even though Microsoft revealed its revenue from the Surface tablets, it did not release the numbers of units sold, or specifically the individual revenue from either the Surface RT or the Surface Pro. However, Bloomberg reported in March that Microsoft had sold about 1.5 million Surface devices, including both RT and Pro. For comparison, Apple reported last week that it sold 14.6 million iPads last quarter alone. Not since, because we're talking 1.5 million Surface devices, that includes RT and Surface Pro. Microsoft sold 1.5 million combined since they were released last fall. Not this quarter, but since it was released last fall, they've sold 1.5 million units of their Surface devices, including Pro and RT, whereas Apple sold 14.6 million iPads just last quarter. You see, now Surface sales started off lukewarm and never really took off because the Surface RT just didn't have the functionality, and with a tablet that people had to write programs specifically for and applications specifically for, and a lot of developers weren't doing that because the sales just weren't there, and they didn't, a lot of developers don't want to waste time developing applications for a console or a device that doesn't have the user base, because they're just not going to make any money. So the Surface RT went on sale last October, and the Surface Pro became available in February, and earlier this month, early in July actually, Microsoft cut the prices of the Surface RT tablets by as much as 30% in an effort to bolster their lackluster sales. However, things might not be all bad for Surface tablets. According to a report this week, Walmart apparently just temporarily sold out of the discontinued Surface RT devices. Now, is this a good thing? You know, maybe Walmart only had, 5 of them or 6 of them. So when a company says they're sold out, it doesn't necessarily mean something big, because you can sell out and only have, 5, of them, or 6 of them, or 2. So saying that, yeah, we've sold out doesn't necessarily give you an idea as to how much of the item these stores had. But Microsoft lost a lot of money in their Surface products, because they're saying that they sold $853 million worth. Revenue doesn't mean profit. They're saying that they sold $853 million worth of Surface RT product. That's what they sold. Right? Now, they also had to pay $900 million for the Surface RTs that they didn't sell. That's one. And then they also had to pay, it was like $898 million in advertising for Windows 8 products and Surface products advertising put together. So they paid a lot in advertising. They paid almost $1 billion in advertising, and they had almost $1 billion in unsold products. So to make $853 million, in other words, to make $1 billion when you spent 2, you haven't made anything. You know what I'm saying? Because yes, you would have made $1 billion, but you spent $2 billion, so you're still in the hole $1 billion. You see, you're still in the hole $1 billion because that's what you spent on product and advertising, and Microsoft just hasn't seen that back. So is this something that is a plus for Microsoft? Not necessarily. And is this something that's a bad thing for Microsoft? Well, at least they're understanding that their Surface products, in my opinion, it may not necessarily be, because they might say, well, Apple products sell for the same price. Yes, but Apple has a loyal following. You see, and that's one thing that Microsoft has to understand. They don't have that cult following like Apple does, like iOS does. iOS has a cult following, people that's willing to spend big bucks on their products. Microsoft doesn't have that. So when they came up with this Surface, the Windows 8 tablet, not a bad tablet, but the price, we're talking $700, $800, $900 for the Surface Pro. You could get a full-fledged laptop for that. I'm talking with optical drive. You could get Ultrabooks for that price. I mean, you could get so many things for that price that it just didn't, being the new kid on the block and not having the clout of an Apple or something like that really hurt Microsoft. And then their RT just was a colossal failure. The RT was just a colossal failure because it didn't allow you to have any real Windows applications. So this definitely is par for the course for Microsoft. They're going to have to really reinvent their Surface products if they want these things to be. Definitely a price drop has to be in the works. The Microsoft Surface RT, that $100 drop to me wasn't enough, because at $449 they dropped it $100 to $349, and with a keyboard, it's back up to $449. So I'm back spending $500 for a tablet that has no functionality. It has functionality, but it's very limited because nobody is writing any good programs or good apps for Surface RT. You have Windows apps, yes, but they don't run on the Surface RT because you have to write apps specifically for RT. So it's just, I might as well just get a Google or an Android tablet. Even the iPad mini at $329 has much more functionality than the Surface RT. So it just doesn't make sense to me that anyone would go out and buy a Surface RT. And so that price drop, where it might sound good, but Microsoft really needs to bring the Surface RT down into the $199 to $99 range. So anywhere within there, from $199 down to maybe $150, something like that. I don't know if they can reach $99, but if they bring it there, people would be willing to take a chance on RT. But at $400, $500 with a keyboard. Nobody is going to be willing to take a risk on that type of tablet that just doesn't give you the functionality that I could get on a Google tablet for as little as $100. I can get a Google tablet running Android 4.1. You know what I'm saying? That's still ice cream sandwich, but running 4.1, updated version of ice cream sandwich, I can get that for $99 in the store right now. So why would I spend big money on Surface RT? You know, for $500? No, they have to bring that price down. And for the Surface Pro, $900, Microsoft doesn't have the cult following of Apple to command a price like that for a tablet. They just don't have the user base. So I just don't see them being able to, I don't see them being able to really resurrect their Surface products without a significant price drop. They're going to have to drop the price significantly, in my opinion, in order for them to be able to sell any units of the Surface Pro. They only sold 1.5 million units of the RT and Pro combined since it's been launched. Since last fall you had the RT, and then in February you had the Surface Pro. 1.5 million units combined. Apple sold almost 15 million units just last quarter alone. So it's official to say, in my opinion, that the Surface RT just doesn't stack up. Well, coming up after the break, how many of you have heard about Quip? Quip is a beautiful new mobile first word processor coming from an ex-Facebook CTO. You want to hear more about that? And Facebook plans to sell TV-style ads for how much? You're going to hear about that coming up after the break right here on Tech Pulse. Coming right back real soon. Right now.